Give me the fucking shield! I pressed square on it twice!
So Apex Legends has one of the most loyal communities in gaming. Borderline toxic at times, if we're being real.
Fucking annoying, bro. I fucking hate this shit, dude.
I already know that this video is gonna be extremely controversial and you're either gonna agree or disagree with what I have to say. There's really no in between. So what is this video about? Well, a couple of days ago I made a tweet basically saying Nickmercs gave Apex Legends the push it needed to become the #1 Battle Royale game out. And I still actually stand by that statement. You see, I get that Apex Legends players have a sense of pride and ownership over Apex. And in me making that tweet, it did seem like I was giving credit to Nickmercs for making Apex as successful as it is today. But that's not what I was doing at all. Apex has always been a very successful game since day one. But this game has also always been the underdog, just from how the game was released. Now, even though Apex Legends has honestly always had solid numbers before the influx of Warzone players, right? And Nickmercs as well. I just remember the average gamer not really giving Apex Legends its props as one of the best BRs. And the average gamer obviously makes up the majority of gamers around the world. Everyone isn't out here trying to drop 20 kills or get a 4K badge or even reach pred. Some players are just out here because they want to have a fun time with some friends and have some casual fun in Apex, right? And I'll talk about how this actually relates to Nickmercs real soon. But let's be clear, Nickmercs also somewhat needed Apex Legends. There was a time last year when Warzone was honestly in a horrible state. The community was asking for serious change and nothing really seemed to get through to the Warzone devs. Honestly guys, the Warzone community was in shambles, and I would say that this period last year was like the beginning of the downfall or decline of Warzone. Warzone really started to like decrease in popularity around this time because of all of these in-game issues. And even though Nickmercs already had a cult-like fan base that most likely would follow him no matter what game he played on Twitch, he went on to explain that he just didn't really enjoy playing Warzone anymore because the game was in such a bad state it ruined his experience as a streamer.
Point blank, straight to the point. I'm dipping from Call of Duty Warzone. Call of Duty's just in a really, really bad spot. Down bad, down horrible across the board. There's no sign of light at the end of this tunnel, you know?
Having to play Warzone every single day on stream and pretend you're having a good time is very understandably a frustrating experience for a streamer as big as Nickmercs. But it wasn't only Nickmercs who said this. Basically every single big Warzone streamer had the same sentiment and they all were just tired and fed up of Warzone as a game. And around this time is when we saw a number of those Warzone streamers, including Nickmercs, decide to drop Warzone and pick up Apex Legends.
Might have noticed that a lot of people lately have been playing Apex Legends, including some of your favorite streamers on Twitch. Warzone streamers and content creators and even the players themselves have been fed up with the lack of anti-cheat. Apex was off of a new season, so Nickmercs was one of the first major streamers to start playing it. People like Tim the Tatman followed through, and a bunch of other creators, and especially in the Warzone directory, a lot of the regular Warzone streamers started playing Apex and giving it a try.
And coincidentally, this was also around the exact same time when a new Apex Legends season dropped as well. So not only did Apex have a surge of new players, but there was also fresh content ready to be enjoyed by these new players. And honestly, Nickmercs did something that not many other Apex Legends streamers did at that time. And I kind of touched on this before, but Nickmercs appealed to the casual gamer. And he actually did this while simultaneously trash talking one of the biggest casual multiplayer games, which just so happens to be Apex's #1 rival, Warzone.
Dude, call it. Warzone is fucking shambles. Fortnite is on fire. Apex is a Mac. If you are playing Warzone right now, you need to get a fucking grip.
So with many huge Warzone streamers essentially trash talking Warzone while also giving this brand new Battle Royale with characters and legends and abilities a try on stream, their audiences then obviously followed and began to play Apex. Season 10 at that time actually set a new record for Apex in terms of concurrent players. So yeah, I would say the influx of Warzone players and Warzone streamers to Apex, specifically Nickmercs, did have a very big part to play on the growth of Apex as a game. Now here's where it kind of gets interesting, because unlike Warzone, Apex Legends is not an easy game by any means. It's difficult to get good at and even more difficult to master. I'm not saying that Warzone is easy by any means, but when you factor in over 15 legends with different abilities, 4 different maps to learn, weapons with substantially higher recoil than Warzone, a ranked system, and a brutal skill-based matchmaking algorithm, Apex is just no walk in the park. And while Apex had still managed to be somewhat successful despite all of that, it did have the potential to alienate new players who just want to hop on and have a good time with their friends.
Fuck you,
Confirm
bitch.
squad and whole squad.
Bitch.
Sorry. Because in a scenario when you're trying to introduce a friend to Apex, their experience is hardly ever going to be enjoyable. Even if you create a brand new account just to get around the skill-based matchmaking in Apex, after a couple of games, of course, EA's ultra-intelligent matchmaking algorithm from the future in the metaverse, I don't know what EA does, but after a couple of games, you will be thrown right back into those lobbies with diamonds and masters and preds, and your poor friend who just wants to enjoy Apex for the first time will not have a very good experience. Trust me, I've been there. So what Nickmercs did was actually low-key genius, because he transitioned into one of the biggest Battle Royale games out, brought along his insane fan base, and showed that he could get to the highest rank in Apex, which is Apex Pred. Now granted, he did have help from some experienced Apex pros, let's not forget that. I don't think that Nick could have gotten to Apex Pred all by himself, and this isn't a shot at Nick, but it is kind of impossible to get Apex Pred as a solo player without like a very solid team. But just the fact that he did it, he got to Pred, that was enough for new players to at least give Apex Legends a try. But of course, having a Warzone streamer suddenly become one of the new faces of Apex Legends did not come without backlash from the Apex community.
Chat, can you tell fucking Nickmercs to go back to Warzone, bro? You know, this ain't like, you know, fucking aim assist central, like, you know, TTK, like 2 bullets, like, you know what I'm saying?
Many OG Apex fans felt like Nickmercs just didn't really pay his dues, and he was using Apex for views and to spread his and to expand his content across a different game. Yeah, let's see that. But this also isn't really entirely true. When Nickmercs switched to Apex, both his Twitch and YouTube numbers dropped substantially.
And then I wake up, I see Timmy's clip talking about how I fell off, like, with 25,000 viewers. Another big one is that we're playing a game that's not as popular. You know, Apex is just point blank not as popular. There's not as many people that play Apex that do play Call of Duty. So it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to maintain that viewership on a game like Apex in comparison to Call of Duty. Not to say that Apex is a small game or a small fan base, because it's not. You know, it's just not as big as Call of Duty. Viewership's definitely down, you know, but we're still crushing it comparatively. We really are.
He stuck with it long enough to realize just how good of a BR Apex really is. The mechanics, the gunplay, and Apex's distinct team play aspect are honestly second to none in gaming. The game isn't perfect though. Lord knows we know that Apex is not a perfect game. I'll never ever say that, but it is a special one. And for you guys out there who have been playing Apex for any significant amount of time, then you know exactly what I mean. So guys, truth be told, Apex Legends would have always probably grown to new heights. The experience that this game offers is just so unique and refreshing that it was only a matter of time, to be honest. All Nickmercs really did was speed up that process. By introducing Apex Legends to a brand new demographic and consistently streaming this game to his Twitch, he showed the casual gamer, that Apex isn't only for the best of the best. Because at the end of the day, the game is just fun. Now in Season 13, Apex has hit a new record for its highest concurrent players on Steam, and while we don't have numbers for console, I would imagine it's a very similar story there as well. A mobile version of Apex was also recently released, and it has already shocked gamers and critics alike. It's only a matter of time before it takes over the mobile market as well, which by the way is bigger than the PC market and the console market combined. Let that sink in for a sec. But I do want to make one more thing clear before I end this video. Apex Legends never needed Nickmercs, or any other Warzone streamer for that matter. The game was already standing strong by itself, but you also can't deny the impact that Nickmercs has had on helping to push Apex past the imaginary glass ceiling, helping to make it what it is today, the #1 Battle Royale game out. Leave your thoughts down below guys, what do you think? I'll see you guys in some more videos. Till next time.